Hi and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. I am super excited to be creating this video today for Nadiya Shah's YouTube channel and for all of her beautiful subscribers. I myself am a subscriber to Nadiya's channel as well as one of her students, and it is an incredible honor to be given this opportunity to create this content for you guys today and to share my insights and my understandings of the current energies that we're experiencing. Nadiya has been a huge inspiration to me. I learned much of what I know about astrology from watching her videos and from taking some of her classes. And it's honestly, I can't even get too much into it because I'll start getting all tongue-tied. Just know that this is such an incredible honor, and I am so incredibly grateful and so happy to be here with you guys, vibing with you, connecting with your energy, and talking about this incredible event that we are experiencing on December 21st, 2020. Yes, I am talking about the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. We have had an incredible year in 2020 with all of these magnificent alignments of planets. We've had Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter all dancing around each other, meeting up together in the sky, creating these portals of energy, these gateways through which we've received all different types of DNA activations. We've received awakenings. After awakenings, we've been integrating energies. We've been seeing the outside world shifting as well as our internal world shifts. We've been watching that magnified in the outside world as well. This all started, of course, with that original conjunction of Pluto and Saturn on January 12th of 2020 at 22 degrees of Capricorn. And the energy has just kept unfolding. We've seen Pluto and Jupiter meeting up multiple times in the sky. And all of these activations, all of these energetic gateways and the energies that they brought in have been preparing us for this next activation that we are receiving on the 21st of December, when Saturn and Jupiter meet together at 0 degrees of Aquarius, fully anchoring in the age of Aquarius timeline, as well as timelines for the Ascension itself. So it's many layers and many things that are happening with this conjunction. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a card reading and just see what energies the cards bring up, and discuss the energies of this event and everything that's happening around it as we are guided to discuss it. And this is very similar to what I do on my channel. We look at the astrology as sort of a guidepost to show us how we are being asked to evolve, I want to say, what's a different word we can use? How we are being invited to evolve. The different energies that the planets and the ways that they complement each other are creating, the different gateways and portals, and how we can guide our ascension process and understand it better when we understand our astrology. The two are incredibly linked. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Everything is connected, right? As above, so below. And so we can look to the stars as a guide as we move through and navigate these energies. So let's see what the Black Moon astrology cards have to say to get us started here. So the first card out is Uranus Genius. And this is a perfect card because this is the energy of Aquarius. We are anchoring and cementing in that timeline. And this has been a long time coming. The astrological ages, the way that they blend together, we finish one out as we enter into a new one. And so we've been at the end of the age of Pisces for a while now, moving into the age of Aquarius. And that timeline is being firmly anchored in on the 21st. There's a mass meditation that I want to put out there for people as well that is going to be happening at the exact moment of this conjunction. And on my channel, I will be leading a live meditation as we connect in with all of the billions of people all around the world who are going to be meditating together and anchoring in this age of Aquarius timeline, anchoring in this positive timeline for the Ascension. So I would highly encourage you guys, if this is stuff that you're interested in, to subscribe to my channel and to join me for that meditation as I guide everyone through the guided meditation that was channeled from the Galactic Federation to aid in anchoring in this timeline. But it's all about this Uranus energy. It's all about this age of Aquarius, this genius energy, this energy of doing things the way that they haven't been done before. Aquarius is the maverick, right? It's that energy that thinks outside of the box. It's an energy, they call them the aliens of the zodiac. And this is really perfect that we have that terminology to use, because we are going to see more and more increased contact with extra dimensional beings as we move forward. They have been assisting us every step of the way and making their presence more and more known, and will continue to do so. They are streaming in. On this day, we're going to have a huge blast of light from the grand central sun. We're also going to be receiving light being magnified at us, basically from all angles, from all different places, from all different sources. And the purpose of this light is to awaken more people, is to activate our DNA to a level that it has not yet been activated at, to this genius level. When you think about, we have scientists, and they like to say that 98% of our DNA is junk. So all of that junk is essentially coming online as we activate to more and more of our full potential, as we learn how to utilize our full potential and wake up to what that full potential is. And that's what this energy is all about, waking up to our full potential, seeing the full potential of each individual and how that adds to the collective potential of humanity. Aquarius is the energy of the humanitarian. It's a collective energy, but it's also an energy that understands the beauty of each individual and how each individual spark adds to that greater collective picture. When we can truly center into our own authenticity, our own truth, our own light, we can then find our place within the collective and how our individual light adds to that collective light. And so that's what this age is all about. It's about honoring who we are, honoring what we bring to the table, honoring our own unique gifts and talents and allowing those to shine, but also honoring everybody else's and how all of those can come together and form something beautiful. This is that energy of moving. It's that upgrade, right? When we talk about the new earth, the ascension into the new earth happens in the golden age of Aquarius, where we are looking at that bigger picture, where we are all living our truth and speaking our truth and working and collaborating together to create something beautiful. So this Uranus energy coming out first, I think, is absolutely perfect. And then we have the Pisces energy coming out, which is also perfect, right? Because this is the age that we are closing out, that we are moving out of. And so as we are closing out this age, we are taking the highest resonance and vibration, the highest expression of that Piscean energy with us. And so the age of Pisces was very much an age where spirituality came into focus. But with spirituality came religion. And religion, I don't want to... We all have our own beliefs, and our own beliefs, I believe that every single religion has those pockets of truth and those threads that connect them, those pieces that are consistent, and those consistent pieces that stretch across all religions, all belief systems. Those are those little pieces of truth, right? So there was truth mixed in there, but there was also a lot of control that went with that. The lower vibration of Pisces energy is that energy of victimhood. It's that energy of disempowerment. It's that energy of sort of escapism and confusion. And so that's the kind of Piscean energy that we're moving into. We're moving out of that victim, perpetrator, codependency type cycle. We're moving out of all of those energies, and we're moving into the highest expression of this energy, which is spiritual connectedness, which is unity, oneness, understanding that we are all intrinsically connected. We all come from the same energy. We are all part of this greater whole. And that beautiful energy, when we come together to assist each other, to unify together for a common purpose. And that common purpose, that common goal, is where this Aquarian energy comes in. That's how we activate that. That's how we move forward with that. That's how we implement that, is by calling on that Aquarian energy. But we take that energy of spirituality in its highest form. Spirituality as our own experience and our own personal connection with Source, with Creator, with God, with whatever you want to call the energy from which we all came. That's the highest expression of Piscean energy. And it's this energy of believing, right? The Pisces card says, I believe. And so this is something that we have been working on throughout 2020, is this whole energy of what is my truth? What are my ideals? What are my morals? What is it that I believe? What is it that I know? We're moving into that energy of knowing, where we stop looking for information and validation on the outside, and we turn inward to where the truth, the only truth, resides. We have been called to do this again and again and again, and to really confirm, what is it that I believe? And it's this belief that is so important. And I don't know why I'm being called to go on a tangent about this right now, but it's our belief systems is something that we've been really working through. And you can see this with the stellium that we've had with Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. They have been forming conjunctions throughout 2020. They have also been within a 10-degree range. That's like the furthest that they've gone from each other throughout most of this year. Saturn did go temporarily into Aquarius at one point, but for the most part, they've been in this range together. And so it's one of the things that we've been working on is our belief systems. What are our belief systems? Our belief systems are what create our reality. Our belief systems, and a lot of those are subconscious. We may not always know what our belief systems are. And so we've been really called to look at that. 2020 has been, it's that mirroring energy, right? We have the 2020. I talk a lot about this energy as really this entire year being like a portal type energy. And so it's the truth inside has been reflected to us in a way that we cannot deny on the outside. And so we've really had to go dig deep within ourselves to understand what do I believe, and how are those beliefs creating my reality. And so it's so important as we move forward to understand on this day, especially as we are anchoring in this energy, to understand that our beliefs, our vibration, our thoughts are what is creating this new reality that we are building. And so we really want to be in alignment with that. We are getting an opportunity in the weeks leading up to this event to really fine tune our vibration. These two eclipses that we're having, one is actually happening as I record this video right now, and the full moon eclipse in Gemini. And then we have a second eclipse happening on the new moon mid-month. These are setting us up to really show us everything, that we have not yet seen, right? It's interesting actually with the Pisces card. Today is actually, as I'm recording this, is the day that Neptune begins moving stations direct, and then on the 30th, which it will be in a few hours, begins moving direct. And so a lot of this energy of things coming into things that were out of focus coming into focus. And so these eclipses are setting us up to show us what else exists within us, where we need to fine tune our vibration, where it will reflect to us what the truth that is in our hearts. And we want to know the truth that is in our hearts, because on December 21st, the truth that's in our hearts will be magnified, and that will catapult us into a personal timeline for our ascension, as well as a timeline for humanity and humanity's ascension. So we really want to be aware of this. We want to be looking at this. We want to know. We've been talking throughout 2020 about we have been given this choice, and we see this choice evidenced every single day. A choice between fear and a choice between love. And every time we speak something, every time we think something, every time we act, right, we are choosing between those two polarities. And so every moment we get a chance to make another choice. Am I choosing love, or am I choosing fear? And if I choose fear two more times than I choose love two more times than I'm choosing fear, I am still cementing in that choice. None of us are perfect with this, but we get that choice. Where do I want to live? What do I want my experience to be? And so we want to be consciously aware of this, more and more aware in the days moving forward towards this great conjunction. What am I choosing? And we can tell what we're choosing by the way we feel. Our emotions are a great barometer for our vibration, as is what is reflected to us in our outward reality. And so that's going to show us what we're choosing. And in every moment we get to make a new choice. And so we really want to be cognizant of that as we are moving forward, because that is going to be so incredibly important. And that's so funny. I was talking about emotions. I just looked down and the water element sensing is on the bottom of the deck. So I absolutely love that. But yes, we have these choice points. There was something, oh yes. Sometimes I just have to keep talking and then the stuff comes back that kind of fell out of my brain for a minute. It's the energy of the dualities, like we were talking about, the fear and the love. And so when we look at the two planets that are the focal point, that are going to be conjunct in the sky, creating this incredible gateway of energy, we have Jupiter and we have Saturn. And so we have Jupiter, which is known as the Great Benefic. It is the planet of the ultimate planet of blessings, of expansion, of good fortune, of everything that is fun and enjoyable and pleasurable in life. It's that magnifying energy. And then we have Saturn, which is known by some as the Great Malefic. As astrology has continued to advance and we have a deeper and deeper understanding of the planets, a lot of us don't look at Saturn necessarily this way anymore, but for a long time Saturn was looked at as the planet of misfortune because Saturn represents our greatest life lessons. Saturn represents karma. Saturn represents where we have to put in the work in order to get the results. It's like the reality check. It's like the stern grandfather, whereas Jupiter is like the benevolent uncle. And so this Saturn has been misunderstood because of this for a long time. But his energy and the lessons that we learn, like we reap the greatest rewards when we put in the work that Saturn requires. Saturn doesn't just hand it out like Jupiter does. Saturn wants us to work for it so that we can gain the wisdom, so that we can gain the knowledge and the experience and become very seasoned at whatever it is that we are endeavoring to do. And so that is the difference in the energies. We have Saturn, which is an energy that can constrict, and we have Jupiter, which is an energy that can expand. And when these two energies come together, it's a merging of polarities. And so this is something that I was channeled when it comes to the energy of these two planets meeting in the sky, the energy of this conjunction. It's a healing of polarity consciousness. So we have opposites coming together into unity, which is really beautiful. And we don't just have this happening with Saturn and Jupiter. We also have this happening with Mars and Eris, which are the masculine and the feminine, the way I read the planets. The masculine and the feminine warrior energies converging together, meeting together, also conjunct in the sky at the same time, which is really, really cool. But it is this energy with Saturn and Jupiter of Jupiter is expanding Saturn's energy. So we're expanding past our boundaries. We're expanding past karmic ties, past karmic lessons, past linear time in and of itself. And which is absolutely huge energy, and past this concept of polarity into this understanding of duality, that duality, right? It's two sides of the same coin, but those exist on the same coin, and we're understanding and we're learning how to merge energies together, which is incredibly, incredibly exciting. Yes, and then we have the Scorpio energy. I transform, and we do still have, and sometimes I fact check myself as I go along just to make sure that I'm giving you guys all of the most accurate information. Okay, yeah, so Venus will have moved into Sagittarius by then. So we don't have a ton of Scorpio energy in the chart on the day of this conjunction, but we have had a ton of Scorpio energy leading up to this conjunction. We had that final Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. We've had multiple planets going through the sign of Scorpio. Just a lot of that heavy Scorpio energy that's really been calling us, that heavy Plutonic energy, right? Because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. That's been calling us to evolve. That's been calling us to transform. And this transformation is happening. We see it happening in the world, and we see it happening in ourselves. This is an anchoring in of the transformation of the earth, right? The anchoring in of the age of Aquarius and an ascension timeline, hopefully it's looking to be a very beneficial timeline that we are cementing in. There's a transformation occurring on so many levels. There are some people, I titled the video that I did for this on my personal channel as the first wave of ascension, because there will be a small group of souls, as far as the information that resonates with me that I've received, who will be fully ascending into the fifth dimension during this great conjunction that we're having. Most will not be Most will be still present in this reality, in this third, fourth, fifth. We're kind of in a blend of all the dimensions right now, moving in and out of all the different consciousnesses, right? Because dimensions are a vibration and a consciousness. And so sort of moving in and out of that. And some will be transforming, their light bodies will be transforming to the point where their vibration and their consciousness is a match completely to that fifth dimension, and they will be ascending fully into that. Many of us will be receiving a transformation and a DNA upgrade, an upgrade of our light bodies, an overall spiritual upgrade that will trigger the next step, the next page in the book of our ascension journey, I guess, is one way that we could put it. But it's this huge, huge transformation that's occurring. And we've seen this transformation occurring. We saw with the 444 portal, which happened during the first conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto, another wave of a large wave of souls being activated into this ascension process. And so this is another major activation point for another wave of souls to fully enter and engage in this ascension process. And everyone who has been fully engaged in this process will be stepping up to another level of that journey. Another level of that will be unfolding for us. Another transformation. This year has just been transformation after transformation after transformation. And I'm feeling this with this next to the water element too, is us really transforming in terms of our emotions, our emotional bodies, and our spiritual bodies. And this huge leap in intuition, in our ability to sense, different dimensions, different frequencies, different energies, to tune into different frequencies and energies. I talked about in another video how it's sort of like I saw like a light switch, and it's sort of like we're plugging into the light switch or the electrical outlet. And so that electrical outlet is the fifth dimension. And we plug ourselves into that, and we have this more direct line. A lot of times the way that we move through the consciousness right now is we're kind of pulled between third dimensional consciousness, fourth dimensional consciousness, sometimes into that fifth dimensional consciousness. Wherever we're acting out of a place of complete trust and unconditional love, we are vibrating at that level, at that fifth dimensional consciousness. But different things pull our attention. They pull our energy in different ways. And so we kind of dip in and out. But this is giving us a direct line into that fifth dimensional consciousness so that we can be more settled into that, be more tapped into that. We're going to be able to sense and feel things that we have not been able to sense and feel before. And another level of our spiritual gifts is going to be activated as well. With any DNA activation, the DNA holds all of our latent potential. So every time that's activated and we go through, our DNA goes through a transformation, we then become more of our soul gifts and abilities come online. We are capable of absolutely anything and everything. Everything that they show us in fantasy movies and science fiction movies, we are capable of all of that. We just forgot that we were. Our DNA was dumbed down, for lack of a better term. And so we were closed off to a lot of those understandings and those possibilities. And we've been indoctrinated to believe that that's all false, that that's all fantasy. But we are coming into more of our natural abilities. We are all little pieces of God. We are creator beings. We are those beings that we speak to, that we channel from the higher dimensions, simply incarnated here in this dimension. And we are moving this dimension. We are helping to facilitate the raising of the frequency and the consciousness of this dimension into a higher dimension and a higher consciousness. And so this is part of what these DNA upgrades, these light activations are doing, is really transforming us in terms of up-leveling our ability to tap into our latent spiritual gifts and spiritual knowledge. Right? Scorpio rules the 8th house. It's ruled by Pluto. It's all about the esoteric, right? That deep spiritual knowledge, all of that, the hidden knowledge, the secret knowledge. And so that knowledge is not, it has been hidden, but guess what? It wasn't hidden out there. it's been hiding in here the whole time. And so we're finally coming to understand that. And that is opening up to us. It's like when I'm thinking of the Akashic records, right? That's what came to mind, because I saw like this library opening up in the center of our being. And so that's what it's like. That's what's happening for us right now. All of the knowledge of the entire cosmos exists within us, and we are opening up to that. It's like we're learning the language. The books are written in a certain language that we were not taught, but that we naturally know because it is the language of truth. And so as we remember truth more and more, we are able to decipher the pages in these vast encyclopedias of knowledge. So we have the Mercury retrograde reinvention energy coming out with the Cancer I Feel card. And so this is, once again, this is a card of intuition. Cancer is ruled by the moon. It represents our intuition. It represents our deep emotional and nurturing nature. And so it's a reinvention of this. I'm also feeling this as a reinvention of traditional roles, of family, of how we see and understand family. That's just coming through, this understanding, reinventing what does family look like? What does home look like? Our entire culture and society and the way that we do things. Like, we're reinventing all of that. Reinventing the ways that we nurture each other and the ways that we nurture ourselves. Just so much in terms of this reinvention when it comes to family dynamics, when it comes to aspects. And this makes sense, because if we look at this, if we go deeper with this Cancer energy, beyond like the nuclear family, and we go into our ancestral lineage, we go into all of those types of things. We've been healing a lot of ancestral karma, ancestral baggage, all of this different stuff. Like, we incarnate into our family lines to help to heal all of that. And so we're reinventing all of that. The traditional ways that we have done things in society that aren't working, right? That's that Uranus energy. That's that Age of Aquarius energy. Just reinventing all of those dynamics and how we do that and how we approach that. How we approach raising our children. How we approach our family lives. How we approach our community lives. All of that energy just really being rewritten and reworked and reinvented, which is really cool. And on the bottom of the deck here, we have solar eclipse revolution. So I love that, because it's an internal revolution and an external revolution that we are experiencing. And there is no way to dictate what this revolution is going to look like. This is a spiritual revolution. And so it can look any way. The way that it looks on the outside is going to be decided by the way it looks and feels on the inside. That's why it's so important that we come into our own personal alignment during this event and leading up to this event, is so that that energy can be magnified outwards, and we get to choose the timeline for our revolution. What do we want that timeline to look like? How do we want to experience that energy? All right. Do we want any more cards from this? I'm actually feeling now as though I want to... What do I want to pull? I'm going to pull a couple Starseed Oracle cards. Clear. All right. What guidance do we have? What messages do we have? December 21st, 2020. December 21st, 2020. And this revolution energy, right? This is going to be... there is revolution. We are in this process right now, and we've seen it, and it's been ongoing for a while, really very slowly and subtly, ever since Pluto entered Capricorn. And I don't have an exact date for that. It was quite a while ago, but we've been in this process of the destruction that begets creation, and we really saw this kicked off in earnest with that conjunction of Saturn and Pluto and everything that's happened in the world since. But this revolution is being supported, and we can see that revolutionary energy as well when we look at that conjunction that we talked about of Mars and Eris, the feminine and masculine warrior energies uniting, coming together, being expressed in whatever way we choose to express it. so that we can express, we've been learning how to fine tune our warrior energies throughout 2020 so that we are assertive instead of domineering, so that we can call upon the masculine and the feminine aspects of our nature in concert. So it's not that incredibly forceful Mars energy, that primal Mars energy of just bulldozing through things, right? It's that loving, compassionate warrior energy. And so our inner warriors are activated. And those of us who have learned how to master this energy, how to stand in our truth and stand in our power with integrity, while still respecting each and every human, every point of view, every perspective, coming from that place of inner authority and integrity, it is going to be important for us to show other people how to do this, because there are a lot of people who are having this warrior activation and don't know what to do with that energy. They don't know how to use it in that constructive way. Aquarius energy is all about, it's the energy of rebellion, but it's rebellion with a cause. And so really helping people to channel that energy in a productive manner, in a productive fashion as we move forward. That wanted to come out as well. All right. First card out from the Starseed Oracle is Water Your Garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. So we really want to be taking care of our physical selves. It is so important when we receive these DNA activations, when we receive these upgrades, all of these downloads, all of this cosmic energy that's pouring in. It can be overwhelming to the physical body. The physical body is trying to adapt. And so we want to be making sure that, like water, the first word on here is water. We really want to hydrate. We want to hydrate as much as possible. We want to listen to our bodies and what our bodies are asking us. Our bodies speak to us and they tell us what they need. And so we really want to ask and we really want to pay attention. Is my body asking for more rest? Is my body asking for certain nutrients? Is my body asking to be present in the elements, right? We are part of Gaia. We are part of Mother Earth and we are ascending with her. And so she nourishes us. She loves us. We can go to her for support. The elements are there. Our body, our physical bodies are made up of a combination of the elements. And so we can seek healing from the elements: fire, water, earth, air. This is also a great time to address the body on all levels of being. So energy healing can be so important. If you are an energy healer, perform self-healings. That is so important right now. If you are able to receive other healings as well from outside people, that's a great way to really help your body to calibrate and to integrate all of this energy. I offer a type of healing called Belvespita, angelic healing of the heart. It was a modality downloaded as a gift to humanity to aid specifically in this ascension process. So please reach out to me if any of these energies, if you're struggling with integrating any of these energies, anything that's coming up, it can help on all levels of being. And as I said, of course, if you work with energy yourself, work with your own energy. Ask your guides and your angels to help to assist you in this process as well. If you are struggling physically integrating all of this, ask for ease and grace. We can always ask for ease and grace, and that request is often honored. I say often because sometimes I ask for that and I still feel like I don't get it, but we can absolutely put in the request. But it's also about taking care of and nourishing our physical vessels. Our bodies are our temples. They are the homes of our souls. As somebody very wise often says to me, if we don't take care of our body, where does our soul have to live? This is something we've never done before. As we are ascending into the fifth dimension, we are taking our physical bodies with us. The fifth dimension is a non-physical plane. So this is like the great experiment that we are undergoing right now, that we all came here to be a part of. And so our bodies they've never done this before, ever. And so it's a learning process. So we have to listen to them and we have to take care of them and we have to give them what they need. We have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. And so this energy of non-attachment is what I'm feeling. This energy of non-attachment. And non-attachment is much easier said than done, right? It's the energy of being the observer, of experiencing what it is that is being shown to us, but not attaching emotionally to it, not taking it on as our own. And that is really big. This energy of not taking it on as our own. There's going to be a lot of different energies as we have another wave of souls activated into this ascension process. The first step of that is the dark night of the soul. And we've seen this going on a collective scale, right? As we have been purging our collective shadow, as people have been going into this dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is when we question everything about our reality, where nothing makes sense anymore. It can often feel like a depression. It can be a very trying time because we don't know who we are anymore. Nothing makes sense. Nothing adds up. We don't attach to the same belief systems that we used to. We don't attach to the same identity of ourselves that we used to. Our understanding of ourselves and the world is changing, and that can be scary. And so this dark night of the soul energy is very intense. Like we talked about with that warrior activation, that energy is very intense. A lot of things that are happening on this planet right now are very intense. And so there's going to be a lot of people trying to pull us into their narrative, into their storyline. We're going to find ourselves being pulled back into our own narratives and storylines that we have been stepping out of. And so we want to really be able to zoom out and find that higher perspective in situations. It's all about finding the higher perspective. Sometimes this journey can be tiring. I was just talking with a friend and client earlier today, and we were having this conversation about these times when even we sometimes get those little moments where we almost want to give up, where we're just like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. This being human thing is a lot sometimes, right? And I always remind myself, my soul was so excited to be here right now. Everyone who is incarnated on this planet right now, your soul was so excited to be present for this moment. We are making galactic history. This is huge. And it's letting go of all the petty stuff. Seeing from that larger perspective, having the gratitude for that, and really being committed to this experience, to making the most out of this earthly experience, out of the gift of being present for these incredible moments in time, right? But also like knowing that it's not that serious. We don't have to attach to every little thing. We don't need to focus on all the small details and get really caught up and overwhelmed with those. Every time we find ourselves obsessing and getting stuck in those loops and being pulled into drama and being pulled into a vibration that doesn't feel good, right? That sensing energy that doesn't feel good in our stomach, that doesn't resonate in our bodies. We want to zoom out and find that higher perspective and find that common ground when this comes to interactions with other people. That's that energy, like when we're talking about dissolving the polarity. Where's the common ground? Okay, this is how we think different, but where do we think the same? How do we feel the same? What brings us together? We want to focus on what brings us together instead of what separates us. There are energies and powers that have been working to keep us in this mentality of separateness for a very long time. And so they do this by harping on all the things that make us different. So we really want to focus on all the things that make us the same. This Aquarius energy is about celebrating our differences, but also honoring and understanding where we are the same and where we can come together. These suits that we wear, these aren't real. These are just, it's like if we opened up the door to our closet and we decided to pick an outfit for today. That outfit doesn't define who we are. And neither does this. This is just an outfit. This is the avatar. This is the body, the vehicle that we came here to experience this reality in. So what this outfit looks like, what it sounds like, where it was born, none of that matters. Ultimately, we are all the same. Before we incarnated, before we chose our outfits, we all looked like beautiful incandescent light. That is the truth of who we are. So that is our ultimate common ground, but it's also finding the little bits of common ground in our interactions with other people as well. All right. I remember, yes, beautiful. Soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. And so this is what we're being called to. And this is something that I talk about a lot because it really resonates with me. The fated life versus the destiny life. The fated life is the life that we were born into. The destiny life is the life that we were born for. And so we are born into a certain life so that we can learn things, so that we can grow. However, there is a destined life that's waiting for us. But it's our choice. Do I choose it? It's kind of like, do I choose fear or do I choose love? Do I choose this, my destiny? Do I choose my soul? My soul is always speaking to me. It's always guiding me. Am I listening? Some of those choices, we talked about the healing, the ancestral patterning, the ancestral beliefs, the ancestral trauma. We were born into the fated life, the life that we chose so that we could heal some of those things. And a lot of the ways that we heal those things is by choosing the destined life over the fated life, by choosing something different than what's been done before, by choosing something that truly resonates in our souls. That's how we heal that. And it's this energy of remembering. My friend Kayla and I, we talk about this. We talk about the Great Awakening, which is what some people call the Ascension, as the Great Remembering, because that's what we're doing. We're remembering the truth of who we are. And so this is a moment when a lot of people are going to remember who they are. And when they wake up and they begin to remember, all of a sudden the fated life, the life that they fell into because their parents told them this was the right thing to do, or society told them this was the right thing to do, their culture told them this was the right thing to do, this was the right thing to believe. These are the right choices to make. And those choices did feel right when we were a different person. But as we remember who we truly are and we wake up and we begin this process of transformation, all of a sudden that fated life doesn't make sense anymore. And so we begin feeling the calling and the pull towards our destined life. So that is an energy that people are going to be waking up to. I mean, this card is beautiful. If you can see, it's this beautiful pool. It's like a pool. I just heard in my head, the pool of cosmic knowledge. And you can see it's as above, so below. That's beautiful. These cards are absolutely incredible. Anyone who's into tarot cards and oracle cards, the Starseed Oracle is absolutely incredible. And then coming in on the heels of that, we have Earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. And so this is what we're doing. We're learning how to be human. We're remembering, right, that we are interdimensional beings. We are infinite beings. We are creator gods. We are remembering this. And then we have this incredible awakening, this incredible knowledge. And then we look around and we're like, well, what am I doing here? And so the trick is to remember who we are, but to also apply it in this realm, in this earth, to be fully committed to being incarnated, being fully incarnated. This is something that comes up a lot. It's like we are not naturally human, so we don't really know how to do it. We're learning as we go along, and it's been trial and error. And there have been a lot of trials and a lot of errors for a very long time, and we are now in the energy of healing that as we ascend into a higher dimension, a higher frequency of consciousness, and a consciousness that is more familiar to us because it reflects more of the truth of who and what we really are. But we're being called to, even though we're not of this world, we're being called to be in this world because we came here to be physically present in this world. And so we don't want to spend too much time. As we begin remembering who we are, we get really tempted to spend a lot of time out there. But we want to spend as much time here as we do out there because we want to link. We are grounding in this. We are helping the earth ascend by being present on the earth, by being satellites for this light energy to enter and to ground and anchor into the earth. But in order for that light to do that, we have to be grounded and anchored into the earth. And so it's a give and a take. It's that balance. We have to achieve that balance, the balance of above and the balance of below. And what helps us to achieve that balance? The heart center. The heart is the connector between the upper and the lower chakras, between heaven and earth. And so we want to be really centered and focused in our hearts as well. Yes. And then we have on the bottom of the deck, deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. All right. And I want to, yeah, I'm being called to pull a Mystical Shaman Oracle. Clear. Card for you guys. This may close it out. I can keep going with these videos forever. So we're going to possibly close it out with a Mystical Shaman Oracle card and just see what guidance we are receiving from this deck. Okay, so we have the Medicine Wheel. And then we have the Blade. And I want to read the Medicine Wheel out of the book because I really love what it says about this card and the way that I don't feel like I'm going to say it any better than the way the card says it. So it says, the Medicine Wheel is a sacred hoop with the 4 cardinal directions well marked. It represents the cycle of life, the cycles of nature, and the circular pattern of our cosmos. It has been used for millennia in indigenous cultures to bring harmony and well-being to the village. Its directions symbolize the 4 steps the shaman takes to become a person of power and wisdom. To manifest clear blue skies in your life, it is important that you take a look at certain aspects of your being. Enter the Medicine Wheel from the south and reflect on how you are still clinging to events from the past. Continue to the west and notice which relationships are toxic and drain your energy. Step into the north and ask yourself, do I know my passion and show it? End at the east direction, visualizing how you want to live the next chapter of your life. It is up to you how much time you spend in each direction, minutes, days, or months. But when you are done, make sure to step outside the wheel and contemplate your journey. And so this is the journey that we've been on throughout this year of 2020. And we are just getting ready now to step out in the east direction and to visualize the next chapter of our lives. And that visualization is going to be magnified on this 21st of December and is going to propel us into a matching reality. We also have the Blade here. And I think this may actually be the first time that I've gotten the Blade. And so we're going to read this one as well. The blade represents sharpness of the mind, body, and spirit. Pointing upward, it summons the power of heaven. When aimed down to the ground, it anchors the power of the heavens on earth. Just like we were talking about heaven and earth, right? The blade can be a healing tool or a weapon. Wield it wisely and it will transmit power, bestow initiations, cut energetic cords from the past, or sever toxic relationships. Use it with anger and it will slash, stab, and kill. You are invited to draw your blade and use it. It is not auspicious to hesitate, to waste time in idle talk, or to hide from the inevitable. Heaven and earth are aligned to support you in claiming your power, so take decisive action. Overcome your fear of hurting others. Unsheath the blade and use it wisely. I love that, you guys. I absolutely love that. Because this has been, and this is like we talked about, the culmination energy of all of the activations, all of the alignments, and these great conjunctions of 2020 all culminating in this time. And so much of this, especially the second half of 2020, with all of these Aries, Mars in Aries transit, the Mars retrograde, Chiron in Aries, Black Moon Lilith, Eris in Aries, all of this energy has really been calling us to step into our power, and to step into our truth. And so this is what we're being asked to wield wisely, is our power and our truth. We have been claiming back our power, our autonomy, our spiritual autonomy, our physical autonomy. And we're being asked to wield that wisely. We are being asked to be those activated warriors, right? Those peaceful warriors of integrity as we move forward into this age of Aquarius. We've been in this process of destruction, and yes, there is creation after the destruction, but this destruction process is far from over. And so it's all about how we utilize that energy, how we choose to wield our blades. We can wield them with integrity, with compassion and kindness, or we can wield them in a lower vibratory way. And we get to be the example, showing people how to wield that power wisely. We've seen evidence all around us of what happens when power is misused and abused. And so now we get to step up and say, enough. We are not tolerating that anymore. We will live in a world that is full of equality, that is full of compassion, that is full of love, that is full of opportunity for everyone. Because we understand, as I wake up to the fact that I am you and you are me, how could I treat you badly? Unless, of course, I don't treat myself well. If I don't love myself, it's difficult for me to love you and show you compassion. And so we have been in this process of self-healing and self-love, right? But deep down at my core, I know that I am worthy of all of the abundance and all of the beauty that the universe has to offer. So if I am another reflection, another aspect of you, how can you not be worthy of the same? And how can I, if I cut you with my blade, I cut myself with my blade? Right? We begin to understand this and to really internalize what that means. And that creates a powerful shift as we find that common ground, as we see what connects us all, what brings us all together, and we unify together. We become strong together. That is the energy that we're moving into. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the serpent, which is all about the death and rebirth process. It's the shedding of the old skin. It's the coming into our own, coming into more of the truth of who we are, releasing all of the old, all of the outdated, and learning how to live in our new skin. The serpent is the master of regeneration. This is also about connecting and utilizing our Kundalini energy, utilizing our sacred sexual energy as well. We're realizing the sacredness of all expressions of our energy. And as we realize the sacredness of this, we are called to then mold our actions and our intentions to be in alignment with the truths that we understand when it comes to all of the different expressions of our energy. And then Pachamama under that, which is the Mother Earth energy, the energy of Gaia, the energy of the earth that loves us so much. And as we step back into our roles as stewards of the earth, as we understand, right, it's not just that I'm understanding that I am one with you. I am also one with Pachamama. I am also one with Gaia, with the earth. And so I feel that same obligation to protect her and to love and to nurture her that I feel to protect and love and nurture you. And we're moving back into that sacred relationship with nature as well. And we are embracing the magic that exists all around us. And I'm being reminded of the Pisces I Believe card again. And the reason I'm being reminded of that, I think, and this is card number 33, is because there's a quote, and I don't know the exact quote. I'm not really good at stuff like this, but it's something like, those who do not believe in magic will never find it. And so we're believing, we're opening up to magic. We're seeing the magic all around us. We're seeing the magic in the synchronicities, in all of the little events that are so well coordinated that they could not possibly be accidents, right? In all of the repeating numbers, in the way that our manifestations are happening so quickly. We're thinking about things and they're happening. We're intuiting things before they happen. We're becoming in touch. This is us embracing our magic, embracing our potential, embracing our soul gifts and our soul abilities. And as we do that, we want to be conscious of this blade energy. How do we utilize that? With more power comes more responsibility. We have a responsibility for how we use our power as we step into it. And then the giveaway. And this is a perfect card to end with, because the giveaway is all about gratitude. It's all about giving and receiving, and the flow, the interchangeable flow, that knowledge of when I give, I also receive, and vice versa. And so just being in that constant state of gratitude, being in that constant state of giving, and the joy that it brings to make a positive difference in the life of another, realizing, as we've said, that there truly is no other. There is only a million different facets of the same diamond. We are all different, beautiful, brilliant, shining faces of this same diamond of creation. And so when I give to you, I give to me. And yes, when I give to me, I give to you. It goes both ways, right? So we're learning how to give to ourselves and also how to give to others. And we're also learning the balance of that, how to give from a place of being full as opposed to from a place of lack. That's the old energy, that Piscean energy of sacrificing that which we don't have to give. The giveaway, this new energy, is sacrificing from a place of fullness, so that it's not a sacrifice that leaves me with less. It's a sacrifice that leaves me with more, because it's coming from a place of true love and true devotion and true understanding of the incredible abundance that exists in the universe. True abundance means it's not if I have more than somebody else has less. It's we all have more, and that multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. So yes, I think we're going to close it on that, because that's some beautiful energy to end with. I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. I am once again just so excited to have had this opportunity to put this video out there. I'm so excited about these energies. If you enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying my vibe, you're enjoying just anything that I'm doing here, I absolutely would love it and be so honored if you checked out my channel. I do videos like this all the time. We talk about all the different major astrological events, the new moons, the full moons. I do daily readings on the Ascension energies. We mix it in with other little random fun stuff here and there. It's just a really beautiful community. Very much like the beautiful community that Nadiya has built. This is what I aspire to do on my channel, just a place where we can all connect, where we can all share in our collective vision for humanity and support each other in this ascension process. As more and more people become activated, it's like a wave, right? And so people who are a little farther along on that wave are here to help. That's this energy of the giveaway. We are here to help share our wisdom, share our knowledge, share what we've learned so far in our journey, to help people who are just beginning theirs. There are people farther ahead in their process than I am that I look to for guidance and wisdom. And there are people who are at a different phase that look to me for that same thing, that will be looking to you for that same thing. And so it's just a way that we can all share, that we can all give. Like, you have more within you to give than you think. And this doesn't mean, a lot of times when we think giving, it doesn't mean money, right? This means whatever you have, your wisdom, your experience, your love, your compassion, any of those things. This is what we all have something to share. If you've been through something in your life and you've come out the other side of that stronger, you have an experience to share. What you have to say matters. What you think matters. And you probably inspire more people than you even know, because a lot of times people will watch us and they won't say anything, but they are inspired by our energy. They are inspired by watching us grow and succeed. So every time you also give to yourself in the way of allowing yourself to shine more brightly, you are giving to everyone, because that light is illuminating others, and it is giving other people the courage to do the same. So just know that every single act that we do ripples out and magnifies, and our collective energy continues to build. It's just like, I'm feeling the momentum of the energy right now. I don't know if you guys can feel it, but it is so absolutely incredibly beautiful. I'm going to leave you all with that. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys again.